headphones.
Hello, everybody. All right. Yeah, you got to listen through the headphones. And your mic, you switch on top. Forward is on, back is off.
Testing.
Is that too high for you?
No, that's good. I can put it right about there.
Can you hear me now?
Go ahead, Mike.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you, kind of. All right. Super duper. All right, let's lower that down there. We are recording. Let's see. Let me do this backup recording, too. I'm going to start this. All right. That is now moving and going. Backup's going. All right, here we go.
Talk recorded live. This is Senator David Kniezek, thanking you for tuning in to Garden City Community Chat with your host, Kerry Parton.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of GC Community Chat. I'm your host, Kerry, and joining me tonight is Wayne County Commissioner Richard LeBlanc, Dr. Tom Iwinski, and Mike Jones. This show is dedicated to the residents and businesses of Garden City, as well as the surrounding communities. Remember, we're working hard to promote our community and yours. Well, hello again, and welcome back to another episode of GC Community Chat. You're listening to show number 249 for June 11th, 2015. This is the podcast where we promote news you can use from our community to yours. I'm your host, Kerry, and joining me tonight are my co-hosts, Dr. Tom Iwinski. Tom, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Great, super. And former Garden City Councilman and longtime resident, Mr. Mike Jones. Mike, how are you?
Doing great, Kerry.
All right. Richard is out of town tonight, but should be with us next week, so check in next week. Richard should be back. Okay, we have a lot to get to tonight. Joining us tonight is Tom Borg Consulting, or from Tom Borg Consulting, is Mr. Tom Borg himself. Tonight he'll be talking about 8 ways to turbocharge your business marketing. One of the biggest challenges for business owners today is to create a steady supply of new customers, yet keep the ones they already have. Tonight he'll share with us proven strategies that are easy to implement in your business. So if you own a business and might be struggling a little in this area, you won't want to miss it. Dr. Tom will be here shortly with hopefully not too wet of a forecast. Joy and Holly have
Good luck with that.
Yeah, Joy and Holly have their 2-minute gardening segment too. Tonight's topic is dealing with garden failures, and we've all been there, I know. Also, Mike will have some community announcements, right, Mike?
That's true, Kerry.
All right. So it looks like another great show for you tonight, so why not sit back, grab your favorite beverage, and hang with us for the next 60 minutes or so. You know, it's very easy to join us here live tonight. You can call in by dialing 1-724-444-7444, and you're going to enter the call ID 82757 followed by the pound, or join us in our chat room by going to TalkShoe.com and search for call ID 82757. That takes you right to our main show page where you'll click on the large Join In button. The window's going to open. You're going to sign in as a guest, and that's all there is to it. Once you're in there, you can type your questions and comments at the bottom of the page, and you'll find our phone number and show ID there as well. You can always text your questions to us at 734-788-9319. The audio from tonight's show will be posted on Facebook at our Facebook page at facebook.com/GCChat as soon as it's made available, usually about 30 minutes or so after we sign off. We're also doing a live unedited video of tonight's show. You can put a face with the voice, and that will be available sometime, possibly later tonight, but tomorrow for sure on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/communitychatshow. And while you're there, why not subscribe? That way you'll be notified when we post future shows. And if all that wasn't enough, we are also in iTunes. Just search for GC Community Chat. All right, before we get to the weather, I want to just mention that if you would like to be a guest on our show, we would love to have you. We still have plenty of dates available. Maybe you own a business or belong to an organization and would like to share your information with us and the surrounding communities. then just send us an email at gccommunitychat@gmail.com, and we will shoot you some available dates, and that's all there is to it. So contact us today. All right, coming up now, Dr. Tom and the weather, and then we'll get to Holly and Joey, and then our guest, Mr. Tom Borg.
Okay, let's do a check on weather with Doppler Tom. Let's see what he has in store for the rest of this week and the weekend coming up. Tom, take it away.
Hey, Tom, how you doing? A little cloudy today, but cooler.
Oh yeah, definitely. We did see some pretty warm day yesterday. A little breezy as well. That's what brought in the warm and humid air. But luckily, it did not spark any thunderstorms. The only area that got storms last night was Monroe. They got some hefty storms down there around midnight, and they saw a lot of damage down there from winds and from hail as well. And as I'm looking at the radar right now, I don't see any storms out there. I see a lot of rain across much of the state of Michigan. Fortunately, it's way across northern Michigan right now. And, excuse me, a warm front is moving through our area right now. So the rain is going to continue to move north of us. So I think the remainder of the night is going to be overall cloudy out there and mild. And the temperatures will be in the mid-60s for overnight lows. And then as we get into the overnight hours and then throughout the morning hours, we're going to be in the warm sector of the storm system. It's going to be a very juicy atmosphere, and temperatures will be increasing as well. We'll probably get into the low to mid 80s tomorrow. And that's going to spark, I definitely do think we're going to see some rain tomorrow. And some of this rain could be heavy at times. And the biggest threat I see tomorrow is the flooding threat. I definitely think there is a flooding threat tomorrow. Hopefully it's not going to be anything widespread or disruptive, but definitely some localized street flooding is definitely possible because heavy downpours are definitely likely as we get into the late afternoon and evening hours. I think the majority of the morning and parts of the afternoon will be dry, so if you have any morning plans, you should be fine. But then as we get late into the afternoon and the evening, that's when the rain will move in, and some of that rain, like I said, is going to be heavy at times. And then that storm system will move through. It'll start cooling down on Saturday. It'll be overall another cloudy day like today, and cool in the low 70s behind this system. And then as we get into Sunday, it'll warm up a little bit more as we see another system move in low 80s with on and off rain on Sunday. And then as we get into Monday, again, some more on and off rain will continue as this as a new system kind of stalls over our area. And this is going to be kind of the normal pattern as we get into all of next week.
Wow.
Tuesday, Wednesday, and even into Thursday as well. Every day isn't going to be a complete washout, but some of the time will be a little bit rainy at times, and some of it will be dry. And overall, it ain't going to be too warm out there, low to mid-80s. So that's nice, and no big heat wave to deal with. And as we talk about some other weather going on across the country, severe weather has been the biggest story across the United States, like it has been in the last few weeks, especially across the Plain States. Illinois, they dealt with a lot of crazy weather down there. Just south of Chicago, they dealt with very large hail, and this hail is up to the size of softballs. It's almost a record-breaking hail
Holy
out
cow.
there. So that will definitely mess up your car out there. So, but luckily, we don't have to deal with hail that size.
Yeah, that's huge.
And we have those. Excuse me.
That's huge. Softball.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
I'm telling you, when you get those updrafts and those thunderstorms, you can definitely get some short-term hail being that size. But
Man.
it's pretty rare to get that here in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And as we drift a little bit west and east across in the United States, parts of the plains are, again, dealing with ongoing daily thunderstorms out there and some embedded severe weather. And the biggest story as we get into next week across the country is the southeast is going to be under a very high pressure out there, and that means that they're going to be under a significant heat wave across the southeastern United States. And temperatures could be well over 100 degrees down there, so that's going to be the first big heat wave of this season. And like I said, that's why these disturbances are going to go all the way around this high pressure and affect us at times. But as I said, it's not going to be a complete washout next week. And some other big stories ongoing across the United States is the active hurricane season is continuing across the eastern Pacific. We're now on the sea storm. We're now on Carlos, and that's going to stay pretty much on the a border lining with Mexico. It's going to probably stay out to sea, and it's going to be a hurricane as we get into the next few days. But as I said, El Nino is now increasing. I talk about this every week, and that means that the hurricane season is going to be pretty active in the Pacific and pretty quiet in the Atlantic. So that's pretty much the story that's ongoing with that. And a few more stories out there. You probably have been noticing the skies have been a little bit hazy out there at times, and that is contributing to some wildfires across Canada. The smoke has been coming all the way from the territory of Alberta, and it has been going all across Minnesota, Wisconsin, and throughout Michigan. And it's going all the way out into the Atlantic. So that's why sometimes it looks a little hazy out there in the sky out there. And the last story I have is kind of some space news. No other weather stories to talk about. We had 3 astronauts come home today from the International Space Station. It was one American and an Italian and a Russian. They have been living on the International Space Station for nearly 200 days out there.
Wow.
And they were just conducting experiments, and they actually were doing an experiment on what happens to their body, because these experiments and the results will go into the big launch into the potential going to Mars. So pretty interesting out there. They're now home, and they made it home safely. So pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's good.
But those are the biggest weather stories and space weather stories going on right now. If you're going to be out and about tomorrow, definitely take an umbrella, because it does look like it's going to be a rainy day.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Tom.
You're
the
working,
Tigers
right?
are home for the next 5 days. Umbrellas really aren't part of the uniform down at Comerica Park.
Are you allowed to bring umbrellas, or is it just ponchos?
Well, yeah, if you're a fan.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's what I thought.
Now if you're a vendor.
Yeah, gotcha.
Well, let's hope it's not like the floods last year, that 100-year flood or whatever we had. Remember that?
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, that was a pretty bad flood in August.
That was crazy.
We're just going to have to play it by ear. I don't think it's going to be that bad, but I think a little flood is definitely possible.
So keep our eyes to the skies.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you, sir. Okay, now we got the weather forecast. Let's get Holly and Joey in here, and then we'll get to our guest.
This is Gardening in 2 Minutes. If you've gardened for very long, you will have experienced failures in your garden regardless the size. What you do after you've acknowledged the failure really will determine the success of the season you will have.
Sometimes if it's something that you can just replace by planting something else in its spot, that's the best thing to do. If you have some tomatoes that didn't make it and you have extra tomatoes, just replace them. However, depending on the time of year or the time of season, you may not be able to do that. You have to plan for something else. So, for example, like beets, you may plant those in the spring and the fall, but say you come to find out mid-June that your beets didn't come up that you planted in the spring, then you have to wait till the fall to plant them.
Failure doesn't mean that you're not a good gardener. It happens to the best of them. But utilizing the space that you have available is very important growing space. So you just can't let the space sit idle until the next growing season or until possibly fall comes around. There are different vegetables that are slated for different types of growing conditions. For example, there are cool weather crops, and then there are warm weather crops, and then cool weather crops again. So if the beets didn't come up, you could throw Swiss chard in there. It can grow until fall, and you can replace that with another cool weather crop. So utilizing the space to the best of your ability will greatly enhance the outcome of your garden season.
When deciding what you're going to plant in your garden, it's always good to keep in mind that if it's something new that you're planting, it might not work. So think of something that you might want to plant behind it.
And there's always things that happen due to cool weather and warm weather and a combination of getting the plants in a little earlier than what they should be. But you obviously can't just wait until the warmest portions of the season to plant. You have to plant when you feel that it is the right time. For more information on failures in the garden, our weekly video productions, as well as our free downloadable digital quarterly magazine, you can find all that information at
TheWisconsinVegetableGardener.com.
for the
All
health
right.
conscious organic gardener worldwide. For Gardening in 2 Minutes, I'm Joy Baird.
And I'm Holly Baird.
All right, thanks, guys. We'll talk to you next week. Okay, I just want to remind residents that the next regular city council meeting will be held on June 29th at 7 p.m. in the council chamber, located at 6000 Middlebelt Road. They urge all residents to attend. All right, at this time, I'd like to introduce our guest for tonight. He is the president of Tom Borg Consulting, Mr. Tom Borg. Welcome.
Thanks, Kerry.
You're,
Glad to be here.
your mic on? I think it's on. Forward?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, we're good. So, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm glad to be here tonight.
No problem finding the studio, right?
No problem. Great directions.
Hey, let me ask you, usually I like our guests to tell a little bit about themselves. Why don't you go ahead and tell us briefly, how long you've been doing this, what made you get into this?
Sure. Well, probably back around 1982. As a matter of fact, I started in with a training company. You probably heard of it, called Dale Carnegie Training.
Oh, yeah.
And I did that for a number of years, but during the process as being an independent contractor for them, I'd always be asked, could you come out and do a specialty program? So I started doing research, and I said, well, yeah, I could do this or I could do that. So eventually I got to the point where I just developed enough clients on my own that I decided to just do my own type of consulting and training. So I've been doing that pretty much ever since. Essentially, the type of clients I'm looking at helping are small business owners, some mid-sized businesses. Typically, they're doing $10 million or less, usually 50 employees and up. That type of thing. And we work with them in the areas of helping them gain and retain customers. That's essentially what we do.
Right. That's very important. And like we're going to discuss tonight, marketing is a big part of owning a business, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So you provided me with 6 bullet points here, and I think we'll just go right down the line. How does one generate new ideas on a regular basis so that they can grow their business?
Well, I think one of the best things to do is to be open-minded. Like a parachute works best when it's open. And there's great ideas all around us. We don't have to be looking only at our own industry. We could look at other industries. Say if you're in retail, you could look at other industries that are not competitors of yours, but there are some very good ideas that are working for them.
Okay.
It's often said that if you keep on doing what you've always done, you'll keep on getting what you've always got. Well, today, in this day and age, if you keep on doing what you've always done, you're going to probably get less of what you got in the past. So it's important to be able to expand your horizon, your ability to look around and really be open-minded to trying new things. There's a formula I can share with you, I can do that now or a little bit later, on how to try things out so that they do work for you.
Now, all right, let's do number 2 here. How easily can you create a 12-month marketing plan?
Kerry, this is one of the easiest things for any small business owner to do.
Okay.
It's as simple as getting a 12-month calendar, a wall calendar.
Right.
Okay? The reason it needs to be a wall calendar is it needs to be in front of you so you see it.
Okay.
If we have it on our computer or we have it on our iPad, that's off, it's out of sight, and out of sight is out of mind.
Right.
So what I suggest to my clients is you get yourself a 12-month calendar, you get it up on the wall, and you think about what are the things you want to do to reach out to your client base or your potential client base. What are some of the activities? It could be maybe a newsletter. It may be advertising. It may be doing a promotion of some kind. Maybe it's supporting some favorite charity. Maybe it's partnering, or what we call fusion partnering with a client, or rather a business that's not the same as yours, but you complement each other. For instance, I had one client that was a car wash, and they partnered up with a auto supply store.
Okay.
So you have similar people going in there. They auto supply store. They own a car, obviously.
Yeah.
So they would promote each other's business through coupons or incentives. That was a great way of doing it. So that's
Really
a form
good.
of marketing.
And simple.
And simple, absolutely. You're exposing your business to all these different clients who may not know anything about you. And as I tell all my clients, if they don't know about you, you don't exist.
And because the cost of advertising is so expensive, let's face it, they want to do it as most cheaply as possible.
Oh, yeah, and advertising sometimes is not the best thing for a business because it
Word of mouth is really...
Word of mouth is number one.
Number one.
And that's why we really need to market that approach. With advertising, too often what people do is they take the shotgun approach, and they just blast this advertisement out to the masses, of which most of aren't even interested in what this business is promoting. So I often tell my clients that you want to do what J. Conrad Levinson often told us. That's the great guru of guerrilla marketing. He said there's a simple formula there, and that's simply 10% of your advertising budget should go to the universe. So everybody and anybody. For instance, if you want to do radio or maybe a television ad, 30% should go to a qualified prospect list. So that's a list that's been proven that these people have purchased items that you're selling in the past from other businesses other than yours. And finally, the 60% of your advertising budget should go right to your clients, people that are already doing business with you.
Okay.
And so now, go back to this 12-month marketing calendar.
Yeah.
You list all these action items you want to do that would promote your business. Look at the calendar and say, okay, now let's see, in January, the first 2 weeks of January, why don't we do a special promotion? And, okay, about the last 2 weeks of January, why don't we do that? We're going to be doing that newsletter. So let's get that newsletter out the third week. So what we're saying is if you can see the whole
Right,
year,
it's there right in front of you.
you can see, well, okay, we're going to do this promotion this month, and then we'll do it again in March and do it again in June. But the idea is to have a holistic approach to what you're doing. Too often,
And your whole team can see it,
the
too.
whole team, that's the whole purpose.
Yeah.
You get your team to see it, now you can delegate. Okay, Joe, I want you to do this, you're in charge of that. Mary, you're going to be in charge of this. So what happens now is you have a plan, and you have delegated who's going to do what, and you can see how it's going to work out over the entire 12 months.
Yeah.
That's the key, is to be able to see it and then
Visualize
follow
it.
through on
Yeah,
it.
yeah. When it's there in black and white,
Oh, yeah.
you can't miss it.
Well, here's the challenge, Kerry. Too often what happens is businesses do one of these numbers. They go up and down with their sales.
Yeah,
Why?
yo-yo.
Because they get so busy with clients coming in, they stop doing what they did to get those clients to come in the door. So marketing falls to the side of the road, and as a result, they get back to zero again. Now they're scrambling to get more business again. So it's up and down, up and down. A 12-month marketing calendar will narrow out those highs and lows.
Keep it kind of level, too. Yeah. Very interesting. All right, so we touched on number 3 a little bit. The 3 types of advertising you should be using, and then the percentage of your advertising budget that should be spent on each area.
Yes.
What are those 3?
Okay, well, back to that business of the universe. They could be advertising, they could be doing promotions, they could be doing supportive funding to maybe a favorite charity. Like, for instance, you have a fun run or something.
Right.
And you could be supporting the purpose of that fund. Maybe it's to raise money for breast cancer awareness or something.
Right, a lot of places do fundraisers
Oh,
now.
yeah,
a
that's
lot
a
of them.
great way of doing it. It's a great way to build that visibility. That business is doing the 30% of those qualified prospect lists. Again, you can buy those lists. You can do email blasts. You can do mailings. There's a number of ways you can approach that. But this business is 60% to your present client base. I want to talk about that a little bit because too often people just glaze right over that.
60%?
60% of your advertising budget should go towards clients you already have.
Okay.
Now, let me give you some examples. For instance, you might do a gift. You might send out a gift to your clients that are of a certain level. Maybe it's a Starbucks card. Something as simple as that.
Yeah, yeah.
Or I had one client, what they do is they'd send out a lottery ticket they purchased. They bought a number of these lottery tickets.
Oh, okay.
Mail them out. Say,
Great
you're worth
idea.
$1 million to us. Others would be do things like take them to lunch.
Yeah.
Think about each one of our clients.
People appreciate that.
They appreciate it, but more importantly, they have a circle of influence of people that they come into contact with that know, like, and trust them. Now, if you are influencing this person that is already buying from you, they already know, like, and trust you.
Yep.
They have this influence on all these other people. They tell us on a good day, if we were to pass away and our funeral was to be held, if it wasn't raining, we'd get about 200 people that show up. That's about the amount of people we have in our direct reach when it comes to influencing other people to purchase a product or service that we're already purchasing ourselves. So the idea is taking people out to lunch or maybe ball game. A lot of companies will have box seats to a ball game, and they'll invite their guests to come along from time to time. Great way to, because it's building relationships.
Absolutely, it
See,
is.
People will
remember that.
People will remember it, and more importantly,
It solidifies that client base.
solidifies client base. People like to buy from people, as I mentioned a moment ago, who they like, know, and trust. And if we are doing these things on a regular basis with people that already like, know, and trust us, they're going to tell their friends about us.
That's the key, regular basis.
Yes.
You have to do that on a regular basis because if it's just a one-time thing, they're just thinking you're sucking up to them.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So, Okay. Very interesting.
Well, if I can hitchhike on that just for a moment. See,
Okay.
If I heard this one analogy, and it's so good, I keep repeating it with all my clients,
Mm-hmm.
I'm share with our listeners here today. It's kind of like going to a pear tree. You have a pear tree in your backyard, and it gets around to August, and you know some of the pears are starting to look ripe.
Uh-huh.
So you walk over to the pear tree, and sure enough, 1 or 2 pears are ripe. You pick them off the tree. However, the majority of the tree is still green. The pears
Right.
are still green. Are you going to stop going back to that pear tree?
No.
Of course not. Why? Because those pears will be ripe, but
On a
maybe
harvest day?
later. Maybe later in the month, maybe next month, maybe the month of September.
Yeah.
So when you start to approach marketing to your present client base, if you just, like we said a moment ago, take them out to lunch once and forget about
Yeah.
it, well, maybe they're not ready to buy anything right now.
Mm-hmm.
But you give them 2 or 3 months, they'll be
Right.
ready. So that means we need to be present when they're ready to purchase.
Yep.
So with that 12-month marketing plan, what we're doing here is we're being able to expose our business 12 months of the year to a certain segment of the population,
Mm-hmm.
and when they're ready, they will purchase from us. And that may not be this year, it may be next year.
Right.
But the key is to have a strategy and work
And
that
be
strategy.
patient.
And be patient. Yeah, it's like our gardener.
Yeah.
Our gardening channel there.
Right, exactly. All right, well, let's go to number 4 here then. The number 1 method you can use to sell more of your products and services.
Well, the number 1 method, as we mentioned a
Word
moment
of
ago,
mouth.
word of mouth. Now, here's the key about word of mouth.
Okay.
Kerry, the fact is that word of mouth can come from a complaint.
Yeah.
How we handle a complaint will
Very
oftentimes determine whether a person will come back and do business with us again.
Mm-hmm.
And most times, according to statistics, something like 90% of the time, they will do business with us again if we can satisfy their needs and exceed those needs. And as a result, they will do some marketing for us. They'll be bragging about the great service they got, even though they had a complaint.
Mm-hmm.
And you turned it around. That is a powerful way to build your business.
Now, what about social media? Social media is huge.
Social media is huge.
But it's got to be used the right way, correct?
Correct, in the right way. And some businesses, it works better for some businesses than others.
Okay.
For instance, a restaurant can do very well with social
Yeah.
media.
Yeah.
There's one business that I've written about. It's a restaurant. It's called Carl's Cabin.
Okay.
Up there in Salem Township. And they do very well with social media. They have promotions and specials.
Yeah.
And they'll have
Pictures. I mean, they can post pictures of their food.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And if they're running a special that week, they can instantly reach out their people that are following them.
Now, that's a good example for social media. What's a bad example of a
bad
business
example-
that probably shouldn't use social media or as much?
I'll give you an example. I had a consultant. I was online the other day, and one person wanted to connect with me on LinkedIn. So I looked her up, and she looked pretty legitimate. It was she was a consultant, a business consultant. So I connected with her, and then about 20 minutes later, I get this solicitation. She's selling something or another. That's the wrong way to use social media.
Yeah. Yeah, that
I
is.
just immediately went back and just disconnected.
right,
I
right.
don't want anything to do with her. So
Yeah.
that's how a lot of people misuse
It's like
it.
spamming you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it. Yeah,
So
that's hard.
That's a bad thing about social media when it's used that way.
Yeah. You like LinkedIn?
Oh, yeah. LinkedIn is one of the best for small businesses, by the way.
Yeah, I have a LinkedIn account, and I don't know, I just can't get into it. I use Facebook a lot because I have a lot of pages on there that
Sure.
I handle, and even for others, I run them. But I like Facebook if it's used right. Like you said, a lot of people can spam you too.
Sure. Well, I think the thing with social media is that it's really it's a way of vetting somebody. You're out there and
Yeah.
you have a number of connections. People can look you up, they can learn about you, and that kind of qualifies you as somebody they may want to pay attention to down the road. They may not call you up because they saw you on LinkedIn, but they may go to LinkedIn to do a little research on you if they hear about you from another person who's referring you to them.
Right.
You see?
What about YouTube? Now, I know you have a YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel.
YouTube is
Seems to be great.
powerful, very powerful, because the visual is, again, so much more powerful than just the spoken word or the
Right.
written word, for that matter.
Right, right.
So the key here is with video, if it's done properly, you can absolutely promote your business in a positive way where people can go and a lot of people, what they do like to do is to just check you out on your website. They like to check out your LinkedIn, maybe your YouTube videos. This way there's no interaction with you other than looking and observing, and they can form their own opinions.
And be comfortable sitting there watching, listening.
Oh, yeah.
You can learn a lot. I mean, I've learned a lot on Facebook.
Oh, my gosh.
YouTube.
You bet. Latest research I heard recently was that something like 93% of the people, before they buy from you, will check you out on either your website or social media.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's very powerful.
And there's so many how-to videos and everything out there. It's incredible. It really is. It's a good tool.
Well, how many times have we gone to thinking about buying something, right? Go online and we check out the reviews.
Yes.
And
yes.
after reviewing
like Amazon or
yeah.
And
looking at the reviews, you go, forget it. I'm not going to do any business with that place.
Right.
I've done it that
That's
way.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
yeah.
it can be very powerful in that way as well.
Okay, so we have social media is one of them. Mm-hmm. What else did we touch for the three?
Okay, for
three types.
Okay, ball games, lunches, golf
yeah.
outings.
Yeah.
I'm on
gifts.
Gifts. I'm on the Plymouth Chamber of Commerce golf committee, and we were just meeting today, as a matter of fact. And it's amazing how much businesses will invest in some type of a promotion at a golf outing, whether they're buying a whole sponsorship.
Yeah, sponsor
of some kind. That's goodwill.
You know, we just did that with the Garden City Business Alliance, which you're going to speak to tomorrow evening.
That's right.
And we had our Taste Fest, and the sponsorship was just incredible to get their name on the back of the T-shirt. You know, on all our advertisement on our website. It was just overwhelming. I couldn't believe it for our very first one.
Absolutely.
How many sponsors did we have? Like 22,
oh my
32,
gosh.
or something like that?
Yeah, it was huge. Huge, just remarkable. So yeah, that's a big thing too. Sponsorship.
Well, what we're talking
events.
about here, you're absolutely right. It all adds up. It all adds up. The way I like to look at it, it's like there's this balance scale, and out there, people will hear about you. And once or twice, and it starts to tip the scale in a certain direction. If they hear enough good things about you, they'll tip it favorably.
Right.
If they hear enough bad things about you, which are a lot less than the good things they have to hear, it will tip it in an unfavorable way.
And you know, that's very true, because when I started the Garden City Business Alliance, we used to have a chamber in Garden City. We don't have a chamber now. And it just, sunk. And it left a bad taste in a lot of business people's mouth.
Right.
And then when I come along and wanted to try and do what the chamber did, but not be the chamber, it was hard. It was hard getting them, But now they're starting to, like you said, tip that balance a little bit.
Absolutely.
And, they know we're for real, and, we're only there to try and help their businesses. So.
That's a great thing what you guys are doing there.
Yeah.
You folks are doing. I'm sure that's the key.
Thanks.
Is to show them that you do have what it takes, and just that persistence is going to continue to prove to them you do deliver.
Yeah. Well, hopefully.
Even down at Comerica Park, they teach you stuff like this. They say that, okay, if somebody has a complaint, that hot dog doesn't look fresh. I don't like the color.
Right.
Somebody accidentally knocked over my beer.
Right.
You listen to them.
Yep.
You thank them for bringing it to your attention.
Yep.
And then you solve the problem.
Yeah.
I'll give you a refund. We'll replace that. We'll get.
That's very important how you handle it.
And
you really need to train your staff that way. You really do.
That really goes a long way.
It does.
To adding a good feeling about the company and the salesperson specifically.
Mike, that's a powerful point you're making there. And it's so easy to do, just to resolve that problem and not make it an issue.
Yeah. Our company will back us up. If I come back and say, somebody rejected this hot dog, they'll say, okay.
Yeah, no problem.
You gave them the refund, here's the replacement. Boom.
Yeah, that's important too.
Now they're going to talk good about you. They're going to say positive things. I like to tell my clients, if you were to mishandle a complaint and people go out and talk negatively about you, that's reverse marketing.
Yeah.
You don't need a budget for reverse marketing. They just do it for you.
Yeah. Exactly. So did we cover that then?
Yeah, I think we did well with that.
All right, now we're on number 4, I believe.
Okay.
The number one method to use to sell more of your products and services. The number one method. Oh, I think we did say word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
Okay. So let's go to this. The 4 things your customers really want. What are the 4 things that they really, really want, what they're looking for?
Well, 4 things your customers really want. First and foremost, they want prompt, friendly service.
Yeah, service is huge.
You notice how we walk to the store, we go into the store, walk around, and we lollygag through the store. Nope, now we want to go home. Now we're going to go check out. So now the line's real long. Hey, I want to get out of here fast. So most people want prompt, friendly service. So that means that you got to be careful with how you staff your company. If you don't have people able to wait on people or able to deliver the service or product that's necessary,
it's very important.
They get impatient.
Yeah, I think that's number one. Really, the number one thing is service. I mean, we ran into so many,
even more so than price.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. You agree, Tom?
Well, absolutely. There's three things people all want. They want the best service, they want the best price, and they want the best quality. Right. According to Tom Hopkins, you can't get all three. So which one are the people most likely to do without or do with less of? And that would be price. They get the best quality and the best service. They know in the long run it's going to cost less. Maybe not point of purchase.
That's true.
But the fact is,
it's a way to look at it.
Absolutely. Well, how many times have we done this? Well, we've gone out and bought the cheapest thing on sale and ended up having to throw the thing out.
You get what you pay for, right?
Exactly. So value is the key. When we can show with the service and the quality that the value is there, that justifies price. Because here's what happens. When as consumers, when we go out to make a purchase, if everything is equal, in other words, the quality of the product, the guarantee of the product, if everything's equal, then we're going to default to the lowest price. That's why on Amazon, you look on Amazon, if it's the same exact product, you're going to go with the very lowest price.
Yeah. So, it's just natural thing.
Natural thing. So in a sense of creating value in your client's eyes, you have to have a better form of quality or a better form of service that's going to offset the price. If you can do that, then you can justify a higher price.
Yeah.
That's why they sell Cadillacs, and that's why they sell
Volkswagen.
Volkswagen.
I would have said Pinto, but they don't have those anymore.
They don't have those anymore. I saw one going down the street.
Yeah, I often hear that. They want this for the price of a Pinto, or on a champagne, or a price of a Cadillac on a Pinto budget.
Yeah, exactly. So back to that first point, though, what they want is prompt, friendly service. Okay,
right,
so they want that friendly in there.
Okay, that's first thing.
Yep. Second thing they want is they want you or your staff to solve the problem. Right. So in other words, they're paying you money to either fix their drain, or give them a new car, or to.
They want answers.
Absolutely, they want somebody to solve their problems. Simply put, otherwise they wouldn't be coming to us.
Right.
Third thing, very interesting, that we want, as well as our consumers want, they want us to jiggle the system. Which means I don't care about your policy. I don't care about your return policy. I've got this product, didn't work out. I know I've had it for a year.
Yeah.
But the fact is I'd like to get my money back, or I want to exchange it. So the key is we need to be flexible with our customers. I love to look at the analogy when you think about how much a customer is really worth.
Yeah.
A person could make one purchase, and if you look at it as one purchase only, okay, that's all there is. But if you think that customer is going to come back maybe 3 or 4 times a year to make a purchase, or 3 or 4 times a year, and multiply that out times, say, 10 years, you see, now that one purchase, which they were upset about, they want you to jiggle the system on, give them their satisfaction. Now that you multiply that over 10 years, the number of purchases they're making each year, you're looking at a substantial amount of money.
But that's true, because a lot of stores now, their return policies are getting tighter and tighter. If you don't have that receipt, you're not going to get a refund, especially during the holidays.
Yeah, what I call that is a run the 50-yard dash.
Yeah.
See, they're not looking at it as a marathon. They're not looking at a lifetime customer. Do you realize that Walmart understands the value of their customers?
Yes, they do.
Walmart has figured out that their average customer, are you ready for this? Hang on to your seat now. Their average customer is worth to them over a lifetime $500,000.
Are you serious?
I am serious.
Wow.
Now think about what these normal people would buy over the course of a lifetime. They come in there for their big screen TVs. They come in there for shopping every week. They come in there for their items they need from the pharmacy. They come in there for the items they need from the men's clothing or children's clothing, on and on and on.
Why is it Walmart gets such a bad rap? I mean, you hear it yourself. I don't know what it is. They don't treat their employees right. They don't pay them enough. Why do they get the bad rap? I don't get it. Yet they're huge. They're huge.
Well, there's probably a number of reasons, and I don't know them all. But I remember one saying that Dale Carnegie had. He said, "No one kicks a dead dog."
Okay.
Which means that if you're doing really good, people are going to find fault with that.
Yeah.
And they're going to take shots at you.
Yeah.
So
Walmart's the top dog.
Yeah, Walmart's not perfect, but certainly they're doing enough that they're a major player in the world of retail.
Well, they value their customers, that's for sure.
Yes, they do.
And
Yes, they do.
As you
they
said.
just tried to address that whole not treating your employees right by raising the minimum wage that they pay them. So that was a big PR boost for them.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know how much helped the employees, probably significantly, but
But I can remember, it's been a few years ago, but I talked to a couple of Walmart employees, and they had nothing but good to say about them. So, I mean, you get a few people that, you can't satisfy everybody.
Well, Walmart's a threat to a lot of smaller businesses.
Oh, absolutely.
And at the same time, like I said, Walmart's not perfect, but the fact is that they're doing something right.
Well, see, that's it. They want the one-stop shopping. Customers are looking for that. Your Myers is like a one-stop. Walmart.
Kroger's is even to a certain
Kroger's,
extent.
yes.
It's getting bigger and bigger in that respect.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we did we do all four? Or was that?
No, one more there. So here's the deal. If number 4 is when you make a mistake, to fix it promptly
Right.
and then do something extra.
Okay.
That's the key.
Okay.
So how many times have we been to a store where we bought something, it didn't work out, we took it back. Okay, first they kind of make you feel like you did something wrong because you're bringing it back.
Yeah.
And one way, I'll give you an example. I was at I won't name the name of the home improvement store,
Okay.
but I had purchased one of these packages of bolts that you put on your screen door because the it holds the screen in
Oh,
place.
yeah.
And the door is probably 17, 18 years old, so I went back
Right.
and tried to find something that claimed close to the same screw that went in there.
Uh-huh.
And it didn't fit. Just wasn't fit. So I took it back. Of course, I had opened the bag at the try, right? Took it back and then took it over to the return counter and walked up to the woman and handed it to her and had my receipt.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what she did? She proceeded to go through the entire bag and count that, make sure that there were 12 of those
Oh, are you
little plastic
kidding?
screws in there.
Oh, that would really tick me off.
I mean,
Yeah. I mean, how does that make you feel?
that made me feel guilty
Yeah,
for buying something from there and bringing it back. I
exactly.
got my money back, but the fact is,
That's when maybe you call the manager and say,
going back there a week later with something else to return, then the other person that was there, friendliest person in the world, no problem.
Isn't that something?
But now that's another good point, and we should hitchhike on that for our listeners' sake.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, yes, you want to, if you make a mistake, fix it promptly, do something extra. But in the process there, what we need to do with those clients is that we have to remember that that person who is interacting with that customer, that person that we've hired, that for all intents and purposes, that person, he or she, is the company.
yeah.
Right. They're the face of the company.
That's it. So as far as that person goes, say at that home improvement store that made me feel less than equal in returning that item, for all intents and purposes, at that moment in time, she was that company.
Yep.
Now, I can walk out of there and be upset and say, yeah, that darn XX store. Say, so that's why you got to be very careful with the people we hire and make sure we train them properly and reward them properly. But if you have people that are not doing a good job on that front line, especially, you got to get rid of them.
So let me ask you this, Tom. When you have an employee like that, when is it right for the customer to go to management and explain to them, this is the kind of interaction I had with your employee?
Well, if that
I
customer,
mean, they need to know, right?
well, let's say this.
Management.
Absolutely, management needs to know. However, most people don't remember the old commercial on TV many years ago. Maybe our listeners might not remember. But it was a Territon commercial, and they showed the actor. He had like a black eye, right?
Okay.
And what was the slogan they had? I'd rather fight than switch.
Oh, yeah.
You know that?
Yeah,
Well, guess
right.
what? With our clients today, they'd rather switch than fight.
Yeah, so they just won't go back.
They don't go back. Most people will not, they'll just be upset about it. They'll tell 9 to 16 other people.
Mm-hmm.
They won't tell you.
Mm-hmm.
They'll tell 9 to 16 of their friends and acquaintances about the bad service they received.
Yeah.
So what happens here is that they're doing us a favor if they tell us.
Yeah.
And we're doing
Well, that's
ourselves
what
a
I
favor
thought.
if we listen to them and do something about it.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you right now, my wife will definitely tell the owner of a restaurant or whatever if the service was bad, I mean, she's just that type of person, and they want to know that. They do. They want to know that.
The owner wants to know. And maybe the
Absolutely.
service person may not.
Yeah. And we've told the owners and still not gone back.
Yeah, there you go. But seriously speaking, if you told the owner something that wasn't right, and he or she
Don't correct it.
doesn't correct it, they're making a huge mistake.
Yeah.
Because now the next customer that comes in that doesn't say anything to you, remember this business of reverse marketing?
Yep.
They're gonna not tell you, go out and tell their friends about how bad of a place this is, and not to bother going into that place.
Very interesting.
So this business about fixing that mistake promptly and do something extra is really critical. I call that a bring back factor. So
Okay.
if you can do something like that, it's going to cause the person to want to come back. Now, to salt their oats a little bit more, you might say, so sorry for this inconvenience. Please, take this coupon. It's good for a free breakfast, or it's good for 10% off your next purchase. So now you can leverage that mistake that was made.
Yes.
But you want to get that person back so you can prove to them, hey, we do a nice job here.
Mm-hmm.
We'll provide for your needs and wants. Just give us another chance.
So let me ask you the $50,000 question.
Sure.
Is the customer always right?
The customer is always right, maybe.
Great answer. I love it.
I'd like to talk about that because that's a good point. The customer may not always be right, but we sure don't want to treat them that way.
There's some people, though, you just never are going to please. I don't care what you do.
That's true.
You just won't please.
That's true. Well, when that happens, here's what you do. Treat them very nicely, and you say, I'm not sure we're the best fit for you any longer, but here's the name and number of our competitor down the street who you don't like. You need to go visit them.
Oh, my God. That's good. I like that.
Send your headaches down to the competition.
Why not?
Oh, that's beautiful.
But seriously, we need to treat them with respect.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
We need to keep respect going in our own organization, because if you let a customer abuse one of your employees, that's no good for your employees, and that's not good for the morale of the store or your business.
Yeah, they have to put up with a lot of crap sometimes.
Yeah, so you need, in a friendly way, you need to say, you know what, I don't think we're a good fit for you any longer, but I bet you'll get better service at another place, and send them down the street.
That's very good. Very good. I hope everybody's listening to that. That's a great line to use, really. If you just can't, you bend over backwards, you just can't please them.
That's right, yeah.
Awesome. All right, and now the last bullet point here is how do you turn complaining customers into free marketing?
Well,
wow.
Hitchhiking on what we just said here. Now, one of the things we said earlier, if we can exceed a customer's expectation when we are resolving a problem, when they have a complaint, when we go the extra mile, and I'm saying it doesn't have to be rocket science here. It might only be calling them back the next day and say, did everything work out with that purchase you made? Is the car running properly now? Did that dress, is that the right size? So something as simple as
that's true. That's very true, because like if I go to an oil change, I get my oil change, that company will call me back the next day. How was the service? Were you satisfied?
Well, Kerry, that's rare. There's only a few out there that I've had to have that.
Honest to God.
But they're doing it.
Yeah.
That's the name of the game.
Yeah, that is I was really astonished. Even the hospitals are doing that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
We had I think Cheryl had to stay in the hospital, or I did. I can't remember. But the hospital called us the very next day. How are you feeling? How was the service?
That's
the care.
That's the kind of level we need to see more small businesses go to.
Yep.
And then they won't be as much at a disadvantage with their competitors, because these are little things that doesn't cost anything.
No, it doesn't.
A couple of moments on the telephone.
Yeah.
But it creates such goodwill.
Absolutely.
And remember, that's the final 5 yards. We talk about the final 5 yards with all of our clients. And that is the last few moments that person has an interaction with you or your company. And that could be that follow-up phone call.
Yeah. I'll tell you, it was Garden City Hospital.
Okay. Great.
I'll tell you that right now.
Well, that's a wonderful thing to be doing.
And when they do that, we tell like 5 other people.
Sure.
My God, they call and want to know how I felt the next day.
Yeah.
How often do you hear that?
Kerry, think about what they're doing. It goes back to what people really want. They want to know, do you like me? Can I trust you? Do you care about me?
Yeah.
If we can do that for our clients, whether it be a follow-up phone call or just taking care of them when you walk into the store, these are the things that they remember and they talk about.
Well, this is good. I mean, you really motivate me. What do you think? What do you think, Mike?
Oh, yeah. This is good advice. There's no doubt about it.
It is. I hope we have a great turnout tomorrow night, because I think they're really going to appreciate what you're saying, for sure.
It'll be money in the bank.
Yeah.
Take home some of these ideas.
Yeah, I hope so. So what else you have for us that you want to touch on? I think we went through all the bullet points, but that's great information.
Well, there's always a few more things. So here's something I want to share with you, that one of the biggest challenges, Kerry, for businesses and organizations, township governments, city governments, you name it, the biggest challenge is these ideas are out there. We could go to the library and go to the business section and pull all these ideas out. There's nothing new here, maybe some twists on some things. But the biggest challenge for these businesses is simply to get into action to actually implement them.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
It's challenging because we're so used to doing things a certain way. And what happens is we get kind of into a rut.
Yep.
And what I've once heard it referred to as a rut is really nothing more than a grave with the two ends caked out. Business gets into a rut of doing things a certain way, and we tried that idea 5 years ago, didn't work then, not going to work now.
Well,
that kind of thinking is a disaster waiting to happen.
Yeah.
So the biggest challenge small businesses and organizations have is inertia, is getting off a dead center and making a change in the direction that they want to go with their business. I oftentimes like to use the analogy of a ship on the ocean. It's headed out in a certain direction. If you just change that direction just 1 degree in an hour, in 2 hours, in a day, that ship will be arriving at a destination much different than the one it started out on, just by adjusting it 1 degree. So if our listeners today can take one of these ideas and implement it, get away from this inertia thing, and keep consistently using that idea, they're going to be in a much better place.
Right.
A day, a month, a year, 10 years from now. I got to tell you this one. Shared it with you that one time I did the talk. But a number of years back, I went down to Tiger Fantasy Camp, and that's where you go down to Lakeland, Florida, play with the Detroit Tigers, the former Tigers, the retired Tigers, and they're like anybody else. They've had their day in the sun, but they're just like normal people.
Right.
But I remember Gates Brown. He was when he was alive.
Okay.
And he was down there. He told us he was talking to us about taking it easy because all these guys that are down there were in their 40s, 50s, and 60s and 70s.
Yeah, you're going to feel it the next day.
Next day. So a lot of people would get injured very easily because they hadn't done any of this running around. So he had this little talk, I guess you get every year you give to the campers. They call them campers. You pay $3,500, they call you a camper.
Yeah, right.
Now I think $3,900, but it's a great camp. Jerry Lewis, a friend of mine, he runs that camp. He's been running for years and years. They do a great job out there.
Okay.
But Gates would have this little talk, and he'd get everybody sit down in the bleachers there over at Joker Martin Stadium and all the players, the campers, and he'd start out like this. Gates had this real deep, booming voice, and he'd start saying, "Okay, now," he said, "I want you to remember this. You gotta start out slow and taper off." And that's what we don't want to do with these ideas. Start out slow, taper off, and we're not going to get anywhere. So.
Great advice.
So
that's good. I like that. Yeah, it's a tough world out there, and these guys want to make a buck, and like you said, just take one of them and implement it.
Yes.
Like the wall calendar.
Yes.
That's a great idea.
Yes, absolutely.
But like you said, you got to use it, and you have to stick to it.
Yes.
They
can do that. They're going to get results.
Right. I had something I wanted to say, but I can't remember. Mike, you got anything for Tom?
As I said before,
very interesting.
Yeah, he
gets you motivated.
Yes, he does. He does get you motivated, and you start thinking about how you can apply some of this stuff even outside of a business situation.
Exactly.
One thing I'd like to add in, we have a few moments.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the ways they can try these ideas out is it's a formula. It's called the TMET formula. Now, it's something I got from Jay Abraham. I just tweaked it a little bit for small business owners.
Okay.
But the TMET, that's an acronym, and it stands for these things. T, you get the idea. Try the idea. That's the T. Try the idea out. Okay. M, that would stand for measure the results. Okay, now, last month when we didn't do this approach, these are the results we had. Now, this month, I see that we have 4 more phone calls, and we have 6 more sales. So you're measuring the results.
Okay.
Next step is the E part, and that's evaluate. Well, let's see. We put this much time and money into it, comparatively speaking, compared to last month when we didn't do this and what we're doing this month. Here is what's happening. We're actually being able to see some positive change here. Then the last part of the acronym, T, that would stand for either tweak the idea. Do you need to tweak it at all?
Okay.
Or if it didn't work, toss it.
Okay.
So, and again, TMET. Try the idea out.
Very simple.
Measure the results. Evaluate how's it working compared to what you weren't doing before or did do before.
Right.
And then the final T is either tweak the idea so that it works even better, or if it didn't work at all, toss it. Get rid of it. The problem for most small business owners is they're like jugglers in a circus. They're trying to do too much. They're trying to keep track of the books. They're trying to be
their wheels are always turning.
They're putting out fires. So what happens is they don't have the time, or they don't make the time, because really they don't have enough time not to do this kind of thing.
Okay.
If they really want to stay profitable.
Is that when you hire somebody to maybe delegate some of this to them? Maybe management?
Absolutely.
Manager?
It'd be a prime time to do that. Absolutely. Yes. You know, what the owner of a company needs to do is be more like a coach on the side.
Yeah.
Not a quarterback.
Yes.
Not call the plays on the field. They need to be on the sidelines and making sure that the team is doing what it's supposed to be doing.
Yep.
Sending the play in, maybe to the quarterback to call, but not being out
And
there
have them
running
team
around.
meetings, too.
Absolutely.
That's important.
Absolutely. Key.
Yeah.
That's why they have the timeouts, right? They get everybody off the field and they get together and they talk to the coach.
Exactly.
So the key here is when we're talking about being able to be the right kind of a business owner that is able to try these ideas out and really test them. If he or she is able to make the time to measure things, use this formula, they're going to find themselves going a lot further and not doing wasteful things, not making mistakes because they didn't stop to think about what the actual results were in the process. So what I'm saying is they need to be able to take the time to analyze their business, not work in it, but work on it.
Yeah.
As Michael Gerber would tell us.
Yeah. I like that.
You know, so before you try one of these ideas, you ought to be thinking about, now, how am I going to measure the results of it?
Yes, Mike.
Yep.
But figure that out ahead of time. So how are we going to do that? Who's going to be responsible for measuring it? Yeah.
And something else that's big with a lot of employers and cost effectiveness. Is it going to be cost effective?
They need to measure that. They need to find out.
Yeah.
Because if they're guessing, it can be pretty costly.
Right. All right. I like it. So you like advertising, coupons and stuff like that, using it if it works?
If it works, they can be great incentives. Incentives. There's some really good programs out there nowadays. And
that's the thing, incentives.
There's programs that are out there. I got one colleague that does these rewards programs with organizations, and they're very sophisticated. They're very effective. We need to be thinking about that. Technology can be a real boon to that sort of thing, where it measures the amount of response you're getting for advertisement or promotions, or you give people incentives where there's points they gain if they use your product or service on a regular basis. A lot of the big companies are already doing this. Credit cards have been doing it for the longest time, right?
Yeah.
Reward miles and reward points. Small business owners can do the same thing. And
what's in your wallet?
What's in your wallet?
Cobwebs.
So small business, here's a note for them, is to take a look at what larger businesses are doing. And if they keep doing it, there must be some reason. And if there's some way to scale it down to your small business that you can employ the same tactics or approaches to retain customer loyalty, why not try that?
Here's something, and I'm going to bring this up tomorrow night when you're talking to our members. We have a beautiful website that is maintained by one of our members, and we have online printable coupons, totally free. Any business can put their coupon on there, can print it out, take it to wherever it is. Do you think I can get any of those businesses to use that tool?
Really?
What can I do? What's the
I'll tell you what I would try. Do a focus group with the people, the business owners, the group that's part of your group, and set them all down and ask them.
Why aren't they using this?
Why aren't you? What would be the benefit if you did use this? Or what, is it too hard? Are you just not technologically oriented to it? Or what do you think?
Because our webmaster would help them. I mean, free.
I would
help them.
Do a little focus group with them.
Okay.
Ask them the questions. And say,
because I think it's a great tool.
It would be a great tool to use. You bet.
Yeah.
People love that sort of stuff. If they can get a discount on something.
People love coupons. Let me tell you.
Yes, they do.
My wife. Absolutely.
Well, look at the pizzerias. They've been doing that forever.
Forever. And look at they're booming.
Yeah. We've got a number of businesses that we receive emails from or their newsletters, and they'll have a coupon in there for $75 off. Just got one the other day from a Handyman Handy Pro. Oh
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And they $75 off, $500 or more, $25 off if you have $100 or more.
Right.
Services. So people do like
Mary Grove awning. Look at him.
Yeah.
With his granddaughter, Eva or Ava or whatever her name is, they'll give you $500 off your awning. Sure. Boy, people just.
What's important to remember, Carrie, everybody likes a good deal.
Absolutely.
People want to know they're not overpaying.
Yep.
They're paying less than they should. That would be wonderful. So if we can form those kinds of incentives and a coupon program, I would encourage our listeners to utilize one. Not hard to do, and if your business association has this opportunity for themselves, it'd be wise to take advantage of it.
Okay, good. We'll bring that up tomorrow night.
Okay, we can do that. You bet.
So did you touch everything? You have anything else? You still have some more time.
Okay, I've got a great story I want to share with you.
All right.
About service.
Yeah.
And it's a true story given to me by the man that happened to, a guy named Chuck Ferguson.
Okay.
Ferguson Turf and Lawn Supply of up there in Traverse City, Michigan. Now, this is a couple of years ago. He shared this with me. But Chuck, as he told me, was sitting in his office one hot, humid afternoon on a Friday in July. It's about 4:45. And the telephone rang. And on the other end of the line was one of his clients. It was the manager of one of the Mackinac Island golf courses.
Okay.
And it was a real issue because here's how the conversation went. Chuck picked up the phone, he answers it, and the other voice on the other end of the line goes, "Chuck, this is Barney from the Mackinac Island golf course. We got ourselves in a real fix here. Our one and only Jacobson's greens mower's broken down, and it couldn't happen at a worse time. We've got one of the biggest tournaments of the year taking place tomorrow morning.
Oh, wow.
And by golly, those greens just have to be mowed at 5:30 a.m.
Wow.
Now, Chuck had to think pretty quicker because he thought, our shop is approximately 3 hours from Mackinac City, plus the ferry boat ride across the island. Now, here it's 4:45, almost 5 o'clock in the evening.
So he's thinking on the fly.
How am I going to get there? Yeah. And so he thought for a couple moments, and he said, "Barney, is there any way you can get that disabled Jacobson's greens mower hauled over to the airport that's on the island?" Because, as we know, there's no motorized vehicles allowed on the island other than one ambulance, one fire truck. And so they'd have to get it loaded up on a horse-drawn wagon and haul it over to the airport. And Barney said, "Well, yeah, but what'd you have in mind?" And Chuck said, I have access to the family airplane. So if you could get it over the airport within, say, 90 minutes, we should be able to be there. I'll get my best mechanic, and I'll just take the plane. We'll fly over there. It sounds like you have a clutch problem there. We'll repair the clutch. You should be good to go for tomorrow morning, 5:30.
Now, this is almost closing time, really.
It is closing.
It is closing.
So in the meantime, Chuck hurriedly calls down, make sure his best mechanic is still available. He says he is. He's going to put in a little overtime.
Wow.
And as Chuck goes back to get the plane ready, he realizes, it's a four-seater, so he can pull out the back two seats, plus it has storage space in the back of the plane. And he thought to himself, I could fit another Jacobson's greens mower in there. I could load it up. We could take it up there, and we could loan it to the guy in case anything goes wrong with the mower we're trying to repair. And or they'll just have two mowers to use, whatever. So this is what they do. They load up the mower. They fly out there. They're there within 90 minutes. They get off the airplane. There's Chuck smiling. There's Barney all relieved that, oh, my gosh, help has arrived. There's Chuck's top mechanic, clean blue uniform. This is late on Friday now in 6 o'clock or 7:30 now. And he's got a clean blue uniform on, shiny steel toolbox. These are the tools of the trade. You want to show that you have the professionalism.
Right.
He goes to work on this disabled mower, has it repaired within a few minutes. It was a clutch finger that needed to be replaced. But just as they're wrapping up the job there, Chuck says to Barney, "Hey, Barney, I got a little surprise for you. Come on over to the airplane." So Barney walks over to the airplane. Chuck says, "What do you think?" He says, "Oh, my gosh." He said, "Yeah." Chuck says, "I'm going to lend this to you for the weekend. You use it right along with this other one just in case anything goes wrong. But, hey, use both of them. You'll get the greens mowed twice as fast. And we've already got a truck scheduled to be in the area in 2 weeks to pick it up, so you'll be fine."
Oh, my gosh.
Barney was more than happy.
He went way high and above.
Way high and above.
Wow.
So next morning, beautiful day for golf. The greens are mowed at 5:30 a.m. The tournament goes on without a hitch. Barney's a hero. Monday morning, Chuck gets a phone call. Who do you suppose is on the other line?
Barney.
Barney. What do you think Barney wants, Mike?
He wants to keep the other mower.
Yeah, he wants to buy this $50,000 Jacobson's greens mower.
Oh, my gosh.
So Chuck says, "Oh, no. Barney says, we just brought that up there so you can borrow it. We're not going to sell that thing." Barney says, "Chuck, we've known you for a long time. We've been thinking about buying one of these, and we wouldn't want to buy one from anybody else but you."
Wow.
So Chuck said, "No problem. I'll take care of the paperwork." And there was a sale. Now, the story doesn't end there. About 3 months later, at Michigan State University at the annual Turf Grass Convention.
Oh, wow.
Chuck's there at the banquet dinner with his staff. His father is there, and they're all finishing up their dinner. Very nice evening. And from across the room, Chuck notices somebody is staring at him. Now, this is a very competitive business, by the way. From across the room, he notices this guy staring at him. And not only is he staring at him, he's glaring at him.
Oh.
After a couple of uneasy moments, this man walks across the floor over to Chuck's table, and apparently he'd been drinking, and he waves his finger in Chuck's face. He says, Ferguson, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you keep that Mackinac Island Golf Club account. So we've been calling that guy for the last 5 years. Every time we're up there, we bring him the best scotch. We buy him the best steaks. And we have yet to get any of his business. We don't know what you're doing. We don't know what you're doing, Ferguson, but we've tried everything. Well, Chuck looks up at him and just kind of strokes his chin, and apparently knew the guy. Says, well, Leonard, he says, I don't know. It sounds like you're doing everything right. I wouldn't change a thing. Good marketing.
Oh, my God, that's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, so if our listeners today can do that with their customers, their clients, they'll keep their clients for a long, long time.
Great story. I like that. Yeah, you know, it never hurts. You never know.
That's exactly
Bend over backwards.
Lifetime clients. That's what we want.
Yes. Well, Tom, thank you very much.
My pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
It's really been a pleasure having you on, and you're welcome to stick around for the rest of the show, or if you have to leave, you know how to go out.
All right.
And I want contact information. If somebody wants to meet with you for some coaching or whatever, how can they get a hold of you?
Great deal for them. If they'd like, they can get a copy of my free report. It's a 16 ways to hire the best young employees.
Okay.
So it's a special report that's out there. Just all you got to do is go to my website at tomborgconsulting.com. There's a little button they push, and they'll get automatically have it electronically delivered to them.
All right.
If they'd like more information on my training and consulting, please feel free to give me a call at the number 734-404-5909. 734-404-5909. Be happy to answer any questions they might have, and if they want, we can explore some ways we might be able to help their business out too.
I'll mention that number at the end of the show, too, for you.
Great.
Get that out there.
Okay.
And what about your YouTube channel?
YouTube, they go to my website. There's my little YouTube icon. They just
click on that.
I got over 100 videos.
Really, that many?
Over 100 videos on developing your business. So short little 2 to 3 minute videos.
Awesome.
And they're more than welcome to have access to that.
Free information.
But
Can't beat that.
Get out of that inertia stage and start using some of it.
Yeah, exactly. Put it to use.
You bet.
All right. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Anytime. Okay, very good information there from Tom Borg, and we'll mention his contact information again at the end of the show. But we appreciate that, and he will be our speaker at the GCBA meeting tomorrow evening, so looking forward to that. All right, if you haven't been to Brenda's Butterfly Habitat yet, you don't know what you're missing. Located at Barson's Greenhouse, 6414 Merriman Road. For 2015, she is now open through September 5th. Thursday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. She's closed when it's raining. It's a great place to hang out with the kids, the grandkids, or just by yourself. It's all free, but donations are accepted. So check it out. You won't be sorry. And let me mention that the GCBA would like us to tell you that any business owner interested in becoming a member of the GCBA, please visit their website at gcbiz48135.org. gcbiz48135.org, or go to their Facebook page at facebook.com/Garden City Business Alliance, where you'll find all the information you will need to become a member. And if you would like to talk to someone, please call 734-788-9319. The GCBA meets on the second Friday of the month, and their next meeting will be tomorrow night, June the 12th at 6 p.m., and one of their newest members, Gordon Chevrolet, will be hosting that meeting. So bring your ideas and some business cards, because networking is what it's all about. The GCBA is talking about some great events planned in the future for the community, so why not join and become a part of it? All right, with some more announcements, we have Mr. Mike Jones on the line. Mike, what do you got?
Okay, I'm going to start out with this one. This is the Garden City Flea Circus in downtown Garden City, located in the Farmers Market lot, 5805 Central Avenue, northeast corner of Ford Road and Middlebelt, right behind Kroger's there. It's going to be this Saturday, June 13th, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Bow, wow, tweet, meow. Many returning local pet rescues, including Wabbits and Boyds, an on-site veterinarian. You can get local licensing if your dog or cat if you can bring vaccination records and proof of neutering or spaying.
Mm-hmm.
You can meet Garden City's canine, Sergeant Rudy.
Oh, yeah.
Pet behavior training, pet first aid information, dancing dogs, cutest pet photo contest, grooming and gifts, pet psychic reading. Now, I'm not sure if that's a pet that does psychic reading or somebody who does psychic reading on a pet.
I'm not sure either.
Free face painting for the kids, bake sale, and hot dogs. This is all sponsored by Pet Supplies Plus, and you can find them on Facebook.
Yeah.
The American Legion Riders from Garden City Post 396 will be distributing flags for a donation to support the functions they have for our local veterans this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They are American-made flags for the upcoming Flag Day. The American Legion supports our veterans, and they thank you for your support this weekend. You just commented about Brenda's Butterflies, and if people want to talk or be a volunteer there, they can contact them at 6414 Merriman Road in West Landwich at Barson's Greenhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that the Garden City Public Library offers drop-in computer tutoring every Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.?
Well, that's a good deal, you know.
Yeah, it's free.
I mean, a lot of seniors want to start getting into that, emailing and stuff. That's great.
Do you need to brush up on the basics? Come in and take advantage of this great program.
That is good. I like that.
And then come out and support our boys. The Garden City Boys Soccer Fundraiser, June 20th, all day at Sports Venue in Garden City, located at 6327 Middlebelt Road. They'll have food, music, trivia, and a bake sale.
Cool. When is that?
That is...
this Saturday?
That's the 20th.
Oh, 20th. Okay.
Week from then.
Oh, I got it.
And thank you for your service. To celebrate Memorial Day, now I know Memorial Day is technically past, but Party Animal Travel would like to take our veterans and those who are now serving on a day trip away to the Greektown Casino and the Detroit River Day celebration. Date of this trip is Saturday, June 20th again, and includes round-trip motor coach, $20 in slot play, and time to visit the best celebration on the river, the Detroit River Days Festival. I guess that new location is really a hit.
Yeah, I heard that.
So if you're a veteran or now are serving, please call 734-525-9777. Proof of service will be required to obtain this free trip.
Mm-hmm.
If you'd like to take a family or friend with you on this wonderful celebration, the cost would be $29, but then you're getting $20 in slot pay back, so it's...
Right, it's a good deal.
Yep. Also, this is being open to police officers. This offer is open to you. Party Animal understands and appreciates how hard you work, and we are asking for you to join us too. So spread the word and help us celebrate our troops. Thank you from Party Animal.
Yeah, that's a nice thing he does every year for the vets.
Jerry's very active and does a lot of great things in the community.
Yep, he does. And that just hitchhikes on the back of what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Veterans remember that stuff, and he does it every year.
Yep.
So they're going to, book another vacation maybe. And that's all you got?
That's all I got tonight.
All right, well, I got a couple here. The Garden City Garden Walk is the 21st annual Garden City Garden Walk is going to be held on Saturday, June 20th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Tickets are now available at Barson's Greenhouse in Westland or Lucky Dog Daycare in Garden City. For more information, you can call 734-564-3868. Tickets are $8 or 2 for $15, and that's a nice event that they have there. They're going to have, I think, about 8 homes, so $1 a home. You can't beat that. Okay, the Straight Farmhouse and the Garden City Historical Museum is having their outdoor flea markets now. It's going to be the second and third Saturday of the month. So this Saturday, June 13th, it starts from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Setup begins at 8 a.m. For only $15, you get a 10 by 10 space. Monies from the rental go to the museum, payable on the day of the flea market. The restrictions are no weapons, no offensive pictures or literature, no food or beverage sales either. The Straight Farmhouse is located at 6221 Merriman Road. That's on Merriman between Ford and Warren. That is a good fundraiser for them. The American Legion Post 396 is having a golf outing August 15th at Warren Valley Golf Course. It's a shotgun start at 9 a.m. It's $100 per golfer, 18-hole scramble golf, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, raffle, and much more. $15,000 for a hole-in-one, Mike, not a hole-in-15.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one, Harry.
That's going to be tough. Proceeds will be benefiting Stiggy's Dogs and the Home Food Pantry in Garden City, which they do a lot of work for the folks in Garden City. Please register by August 5th. You can call Dick King, our friend Dick King, at 734-564-7080, or Paul at 734-776-8025. That is a nice event and a good cause. It says, please bring a non-perishable can, good to donate. So you can do that too. I wanted to mention we got a couple of potential guests that are going to be coming on. Our city manager / Chief Muri wants to come on the show and discuss the public safety millage that's coming up, which is a renewal but not an it's extended. It's a 3.5 mils for 5 years rather than 4 years, and we'll be voting on that August 4th. So he'd like to come on and talk about that. So he'll be doing that, I'm sure, in the near future. Also, Richard texted me today, and he would like to schedule some people from the Yankee Air Museum. They want to come on the show. So that's going to be very interesting. We're going to send them some dates and see what they can pick and get them signed up. So we got some good shows for you coming up. We try to mix it up a little bit, for everybody. Have something interesting for everybody. Mike, what else you got? Anything else you want to mention?
Well, with
Kiwanis or anything?
With Derek not here, we have a few little sports.
Talk some sports.
Little sports notes.
Yeah.
Tigers are looking forward to the return of Justin Verlander, making his first start of the season this Saturday. So
that's
hopefully that'll help stabilize the starting pitching.
All eyes will be on him, let me tell you.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of pressure for them to do well with that.
Yep.
Both the basketball and hockey playoffs are 2-2.
Mm-hmm.
So I think hockey is tonight. I think hockey or basketball.
I think basketball tonight.
Basketball?
Boy, I'm not sure. Yeah. I'm not sure either.
I think it's hockey. I think Game 5. But
Chicago tied it up.
Yeah.
The series.
So, and Golden State, or maybe Golden State and Cleveland playing Game 4.
Yeah, I think so.
With Cleveland ahead 2-1. So
yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see how those play out.
What do you think? You think LeBron is going to take Cleveland to a championship or what?
Well, it has been 50 years since Cleveland won a league championship in any sport.
And you know who owns them?
Yeah, Dan Gilbert.
Our friend Dan Gilbert. What doesn't he own, right?
Yeah. I heard they're thinking of renaming Detroit Gilbertville.
Yeah, I think so. My God.
Yeah.
This guy is buying everything up, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, if he can develop everything, that'd be great for Detroit, for sure.
Yeah. We can use all the help we can get in that area to do.
Well, the Tigers got spanked yesterday, so let's hope they can get back on another winning streak, although it was a short one. But and let's hope for the best for Verlander. We can sure use him now, that's for sure.
Yeah, I could see that if he could reclaim a productive spot in the starting rotation, that would allow them a little flexibility. They could give Shane Green a break and say, okay, you're not going to start the next time.
Yep.
Let's get you
Yep.
back to the point where you're actually getting your pitches where you need to have them so that, like you were the first 3 games of the season.
Exactly.
Give his spot to Kyle Ryan in the meantime while he guys get straightened out. But
I like that.
It's hard to do that when Lobstein was on the disabled list, Verlander was on the disabled list.
Yeah.
You know, you just didn't have the flexibility to really do anything about guys that were struggling.
Right.
Sanchez, I don't know, he pitched great.
Yeah.
Tuesday,
he's not real consistent, though,
no,
is
he
he?
hasn't been, but hopefully he'll get himself squared away. He's
Yeah.
got a good track record. He's just not being consistent this year. So hopefully this will get turned around a little bit. I'd like to see Sanchez and Ryan start the 2 games against Cleveland next
How
week.
is Scherzer doing?
Anyway.
Have you heard anything on him?
Yeah, he's doing pretty well. His 1-loss record is like maybe 6-4, 6-5, but his earned run average was below 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's important.
He just got beat, I think, by the New York Met pitcher who came off of years on the disabled list that had the elbow surgery and so forth that had done so well before he had his surgery. So
yeah, I was wondering how he was doing. I just haven't heard anything, and I haven't really checked it out myself. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's doing pretty well. I'm not sure about Pfister, Doug Pfister.
Yeah,
he's down there.
Pfister. Yeah,
he's with them too. I think.
Yeah.
As far as I know, he's doing okay. I know Smiley is on a disabled list and may not be back for a while, and Porcello is I think on a disabled list
Porcello too. I was going to ask you about him
with Miami and with Boston respectively. So
wow. All right, well that's it for sports, I guess. Can't think of anything else.
Yeah,
you had a Kiwanis meeting today that I missed, but I was out giving gifts to the vendors or to the venues from the Taste Fest, thanking them.
Yeah, we had a good speaker. This guy spoke about the Detroit Zoo, and that was very informative. I know when my daughter's in-laws come in from Texas in July for a couple of weeks, that's one of the places we'd like to get them out to.
You know, whenever I'm not there and you have a speaker, invite them on the show if they want to come on the show. Yeah. You know, get their information, contact information, and I'll contact them. We'll set something up. Yeah, that'd be an interesting guest. Tom was very good tonight. I really enjoyed that.
He had some slides and a short video and so forth, talked about their new penguin expedition or exhibit area that's going to be open by the end of the year. And
that's supposed to be pretty good.
And the wolf thing that they opened up just recently and so forth.
Oh, wow. Yeah, making some improvements.
Yeah. They got like 150 acres there.
Wow.
So it's one of the biggest class zoos in the country.
Yeah. I was talking to somebody, I can't remember, they liked the Detroit Zoo, and I mentioned a little zoo that we went to out near Battle Creek called Bender Park Zoo.
Yeah, that's my hometown, you know.
Yeah, I really like that. That's a nice zoo. Yeah. Boardwalk all the way through. It's very nice.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Not real big or overwhelming, but I liked it. All right, is that it?
Yeah, that's all I got tonight.
Okay, and that's all I got. So you know what? I think we're ready to call this a podcast. I want to thank Mr. Tom Borg from Tom Borg Consulting. Remember, if you're looking for some help with your business and would like to consult with Tom in regards to any of his services, then give him a call at 734-404-5909, or his mobile number is 734-812-0526. Also, thanks to my co-hosts tonight, Mike and Tom. You guys are the best. And also thanks to Holly and Joy, all the way from Wisconsin, for your gardening tips. And thank you to everyone who hung out with us in the chat room, and to those that will be watching this later on our YouTube channel. We really appreciate your support every week. Remember, the audio from tonight's show will be available on Facebook, on our Facebook page at facebook.com/GCChat shortly after we sign off tonight. And look for the video of tonight's show sometime tomorrow on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/CommunityChatShow. All right, remember, the success of a community depends on the community, so please support your local businesses. And if you see something, say something. Look out for one another out there. For all your weather information, head on over to DopplerTomsWeather.com. It's got a great little website over there. And it looks like we're going to need umbrellas for tomorrow, Mike. I hate to say it.
Yeah,
doesn't look good.
Yeah. Tom, I wish Tom had a little more control out of the weather instead of just reporting on it. then I could put in my request.
That would be great, wouldn't it?
Rain for road trips.
Yeah.
Dry for homestays.
There you go. All right, so join us next week right here on TalkShoe.com, show ID 82757, when we'll be live.
250?
Yep, with another episode number 250, like Mike said, of GC Community Chat. On behalf of Mike, Tom, Holly, and Joy, this is Carrie. Take care, and see you next time. Good night.
Good night.
See you guys.